All right, so since we're 15 minutes in, we will get started on your guys' assignment. It's going to be your assignment for today and tomorrow. I need to emphasize, and I sent out an email, although this really only goes to one person here, but if you're watching this video recorded later, you need to get the Shark Tank business plan turned in. I sent an email to everybody who has not turned that in. That is a third of your grade. Remember, your grade comes from 3 places. Apex is one of them, but if all you've done is Apex, that's only a third of your grade. The other part of your grade comes from that Shark Tank business plan. You spent 2 days putting together Shark Tank day 1 and 2. So now you need to put it together into that Google Slides presentation to get your final grade for the Shark Tank stuff. And then the other third of your grade comes from what we are starting today and going to finish tomorrow, which is the marketing assignment. So let's go over the marketing analysis project. Like I said, you've got 2 days on this guy. If you go to your course modules for today, you've got 2 links. The first one says marketing report data, and the second one is marketing analysis report. Data is going to open a document like this, and the report is going to ask you to make a copy of these Google Slides that I have started for you. So here is your problem. It says you work for a marketing company and you're in charge of the social media for Target. This table shows the number of people who visit that Target's Facebook every day. And then your boss wants to come up with a report that includes visuals about how often people are visiting Facebook and whether that relates to how many leads they get, which is like people actually going to Target and buying things from Target. So your task is to do a report. You must answer the following questions, and I've put all of these in the presentation for you. And then what's really important and what's going to be heavily graded is you're going to need to do a scatter plot and a histogram, I believe, of this data. So looking at what's being asked of you, I've done the cover page for you. And then it says you need to find the mean, median, and mode for the number of visits and for the number of leads. So you're going to come back to this data table and you're going to find the mean, median, and mode of this column for Facebook visits and the mean, median, and mode for number of leads. The mean is the one where you add them all up and divide by, you're going to be dividing by 10. So add all these together, divide by 10 gives you the mean. The median is, you need to rewrite these so they're in order from smallest to largest. And then the median is the number that's in the middle. And then the mode is going to be if any numbers happen more than once, that's your mode. So you're probably going to want to rewrite these in order from smallest to largest so that you can find your median and your mode. Again, the mean is you add them all up and then divide by 10. The median is put them in order and work your way towards the middle. Whichever number is in the middle is the median. And that's actually going to be between 2 numbers on this one. So you're going to have to figure out between the 2 numbers. And then the mode is there a data that's happening more than one time? You need to report that for visits and for leads. So that's your first slide. Second slide wants you to make a scatter plot of the visits and leads. The easiest way that it will be for you guys to do this is you have 2 options. You can, well, you've got more than 2 options, but my 2 suggestions are either do it by hand and take a picture and put it on your presentation. Or what I think is easier is if you go to Desmos, which you should have used before in your math classes, you go to Desmos and you go to the graphing calculator. If you go up where these little bars are, oh, just kidding, not there. You're going to go where this plus sign is. Sorry, if you go add an item and you select table, it's going to give you something that looks like this, where you can literally just enter the data from the marketing plan. So Facebook visits is 10, leads is 5. So I'm going to go to Desmos and add to my table 10 and 5. And Desmos will put the dots on the plot for you. So that to me is easier than drawing one myself and taking a picture. So that's my suggested solution to that. So you need to then take a picture of it and put your scatter plot on your presentation. This part's a little trickier. This part, you need to make a histogram of this. A histogram is, here I have uploaded some notes if they load. Come on. So these are notes that I have taken with classes in the past. The trick with histograms is they look like bar graphs. Oh no, where did that go? They look like bar graphs. There we go. Zoom is killing my computer, so just hang tight and let it fully load. So it looks like a bar graph, but the difference is you do it for chunks of data. So this bar represents the number of times my data had the numbers from 30 to 35. So I had 3 numbers up here that were between 30 and 35. So with a histogram, you are charting how frequently you see numbers between these 2 points. So there were 5 numbers in my data table that were between 35 and 40. And the way that I did the histogram on my presentation so that it looked like this, you'll notice this is kind of how you want it set up. I have this bar is from 0 to 4. This bar is from 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19. The way I made this was I went insert, I went to chart, and I did column. When you do that, it's going to give you an option. So if I were to delete this, let's say, this is what it originally looked like. So I'm going to go to insert, chart, column, and it's going to give you this blank one that obviously isn't what you want. You need to go up here to this little arrow and click open source. I think you can double click on the graph too. And it is going to open in Excel. So then the link will open this guy. And from here, this is where you edit what you want on your graph. And it's going to take forever to load. Forever. There we go. Still loading. So again, to get here, I opened it and then I opened the source. And then to edit this, I need to go to the source, which was this Excel sheet. And it's really having a hard time opening it. But then what I did was I went in and I changed these things. So I changed this first one. Instead of saying team 1, I'm so sorry, guys, it's so slow. It is still loading. There we go. So instead of saying team 1, I went in and said 0 through 4. And then I hit enter and you'll notice that it changed my bar graph to 0 through 4. We don't want 2 bar graphs. So I went in and I deleted all of these because I don't need 2 bars. Then I came here and said, okay, this is 5 to 9. And I don't know if these are the numbers we want. We could take a look. We need to go from 0 to 20 is what our histogram is going to need. So I'm going to go back to this and I would keep going until I got to 20. So this one would be 10 through 14. This one would be 15 through 19. Then I don't know if I need it, I might, would be 20 through 24. So that gives me all of the bars. We want to label this. This is going to be labeled with Facebook, or this would be leads. So leads would go there, and Facebook visits is what we're counting. Actually, no. Leave, this one is just frequency, and we actually do want 2 columns. We want leads, and we want Facebook visits, I believe. And then you're going to go in and you're going to graph your leads and your Facebook visits to build out your histogram. You might not get to this today, so I can go over this tomorrow. I would say your goal for today would be slides wise to get through slides 2 and 3. And then tomorrow we can focus on 4, 5, and 6. So get your mean, median, and mode for each, and then get your scatter plot, which again, I used Desmos for scatter plot. And then I would just take a screenshot of this and upload it. So this is what you're working on today. This assignment is 1/3 of your grade. So you want to make sure you're getting it done and doing it correctly. I am here if you have questions or get stuck, but get to work on your marketing project. So like I said, focus on doing slides 1, mean, median, and mode, put that into a presentation, and getting your scatter plot done. And then if you have time, hit update. If you have time, you can start your histogram, but I'll make sure we focus on histogram tomorrow. You can also double click on this and it should open a way to edit it over here, because obviously we don't want this titled points scored. We want Facebook visits to leads or something like that. And then it updates on your drive by hitting update.